I don't know if if you were in the shoes of the people who are talking about this 41 or 50% as the case may be, how you would react. Because many will look at, okay, in 2012, or since 2012, when the Shaw P committee was set up, about over 800 buses have been bought, supposedly for mass transit. There have been issues of Shaw P investment here. The Senate wanting to probe Shaw P, some billions, supposed billions that are missing from Shaw P funds. All of these are questions that Nigerians are wondering. Shaw P was supposed to help make things easier after the partial removal of subsidy, but we're not really not seeing anything.
Well, again, to some extent, on what has happened, what you are saying is right. But the true situation of the ground is not. And this is why I say I'm happy that I have this opportunity to interact with you in the media and also with our viewers, and I hope by extension to most Nigerians. Because, first, let's talk about the probe of some money that was missing. Thank God it never took place.
The 500 billion they talk about.
Yeah, because it was going to be an exercise in futility. First and foremost, Federal Shaw P at that point had only collected 360 billion. So how can you miss what you don't have? If 500 million is missing, and the organization up from creation up to that point had only had 360, how can they miss 500? But I'm happy that the reconciliation went on and people found out that it was, and this issue we talk about information. If you don't give the right information and the correct information, you allow people to feel it with them say.
Okay. That 54% that goes to states and local governments,
right.
How is it distributed? Because, I mean, does the Shaw P, which you chair, also have responsibility to maybe call the states to order if those funds are not properly utilized?
You can only call somebody to order if you give him the money. We don't. And remember, we are operating in a federal system of government where the states are also an autonomous body to some extent. It's only those things that are, there are things that are on the exclusive list of the federal that are exclusive. But most of the things are on concurrent list. So the money spent by our constitution, the states have their power, and that's why their budget is led by them. It's not federal government that decide.
The Shaw P funds,
yes.
Is it just that without 100% comes to Shaw P distributes 54 and 5%?
100% goes to the federal government.
So federal government gives Shaw P 41.
41. And gives, and that's why I say if you check the newspapers, most of the papers 2 days ago carried it, signed by the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy. Every amount that goes to the state and the local government is all spelled out there.
Now, the Shaw P, let's focus on the 41%
yes.
which you oversee.
Yes.
So what would you say are the priorities? We want to believe that you will continue with the programs that were started under the former chairman of Shaw P, Niger Delta, beg your pardon, the East-West Road, and some other projects like that. Are they still the current priorities?
Yes. Again, let me say, I'm so happy to have I operated with the former chairman as his deputy for a period before he left. And he actually, I'll say it before the cameras and everywhere in the world, I enjoyed working with him. He mentored me well. I learned from his degree of foresightness, uprightness, and his integrity. I am proud to say that there are a lot of Nigerians that out there who have the interests of this country at heart, who will not spend anybody's money carelessly or uselessly, who wants to see the development and the progress of this country. And I want to say the government did a lot of good things to select him to be the first chairman. I hope I will be able to wear that shoes, and I will leave people to judge me after I leave. But that's what I'll say about him. Having said that, we are not the final decision makers on how and where priority should go. the federal government through the Federal Executive Council decides the priority and the programs we will intervene, and the legislative arm of government looks through, and after all is done, they come up with a budget. The only thing that stays constant is the figure, not the program. So once we know how much, but once we know the program and the priority of government, then we act by that. The government tells us from the allocation of funds, which are the driving program. For example, we have those of this critical infrastructure, and we have the social safety net. On the critical infrastructure, if you check our budget this year, out of the 268 I talked about, 104 is going to roads and bridges. If you add another 30 billion going to the east-west road, you'll find out that on roads and bridges we have more than that. So you'll find out that over 50% of the money goes to is related to roads and bridges. When you add railway onto it, then you will find out that well over 50% is the concentration of what government wants us to do. Then the rest program goes to the social safety net. So the priority is based on the program that government have directed us to do. What people have asked, then what are you there for? One of the major things we're there for, and I hope, is my hope, that is the legacy Shopee will leave behind, is that it will not be business as usual. We will have to move with time. We'll have to move with technology. Because, for example, if we have a road, yesterday I inspected, the team and we inspected the ongoing Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, whereby Shopee money of 20 billion will go in this year to see what they are doing, to understand, and our consultant to see the baseline, what they have started, so that we will see how we spend, we pay that money. As I've told you, government have decided that from Shopee money, they are going to put 20 billion naira on that road.
So do we have an idea of the completion date?
Yes.
For that road?
Oh, that road, if everything goes well, it will be completed in 2015, completely. And remember that from Lagos up to Shagamu is going to be 3 lanes on both sides. And then after Shagamu, from Shagamu to Ibadan, it's going to be 2 lanes on both sides. So
what about from there to Lagos?
From where?
Okay, 3 lanes on both sides.
Yes.
Okay.